Okay, so just nice and relaxed here. So that hand's gonna open. Feel like these hands are crossing. As this, like, if this is my right hand, feel that right hip going with all the way through the motion. Yeah, keep that shoulder relaxed. In, knee, sa. Like as I said, shoulder relaxed. Yes, you want to keep that lat connection, so this arm's connected to the body without like being overly stiff. Without allowing this arm to go. Making sure the elbow isn't away from this body. Yes, making sure the elbow and the shoulder are on the same plane. She. Good. Go. Making sure like the fist is slightly higher than the elbow, like so the underside of my forearm, I guess, is clearing my eye line. Fist and elbow on the same plane. Yes, my fist isn't forward, my elbow isn't forward. Say go. Look. Change. Punch. Cut. Jump. And then making sure, like, we'll do a few more light here, making sure this is finishing. So, like, my palm is facing up at the start, facing in, facing in, facing in, and then at the completion, you are having that crisp forearm rotation, yeah? So you wouldn't want to just be banging the arm out the way. That crisp rotation will send, like, I guess it's the snap of that technique, yeah? In, G. Okay, good. Next one, yeah? So twitchy. So as you prepare, like, if this is my left arm, sort of elbow roughly in line with the shoulder, top of the fist roughly in line with the top of the head. Don't go too high. Don't go too far out. Certainly don't go behind. Don't allow the shoulder to rise. At the same time, like, I tend not to bother teaching sort of this arm outstretched anymore. If you want to have that feeling, that stretching movement, fine, yeah, or you can just keep this arm like still as a cover, but whatever, yeah, up to you. So loading and twisting. Inch. So this arm coming up, and then feel like hip, upper body, arm all at the same time. Knee. Very good. Try not to like, so we push our hip. We try not to have any sort of like horizontal dip. So keep this plane like still, yeah, and rotate around that center point. So, very good. Making sure like if this is my left arm does not finish on the left side of my body, yeah? I don't just move this arm across, I push my hip, which brings that arm so I'm covering, yeah? So if Jacob is throwing that basic straight punch, like I don't want to be here, I want to make sure I am blocking it across, yeah? Shin. Go. Row. Like you're skimming a stone, yeah? Shin. Hatch. Kill. Jump. And then get out right, yeah? So get out right. So I guess for this first one, again, that arm can stay if you wish, or have it brings that arm down, whatever, yeah? But you're feeling this arm cutting across, yeah? So like, can't remember who I was training with, but they said, I feel like your elbows are kissing, yeah? That sort of feeling. So you're bringing your elbows in, that chest, pectoral squeeze, core squeeze that brings everything in, and then opening into the block. Each. Making sure this hand comes all the way to your neck, palm facing. Not palm facing the shoulder, not down towards the elbow, palm facing your neck, and then rotating out. Knee. Good. Sa. Shi. Like different examples of timing here. So for instance, on this agyuk, you could keep the body still as the arms go in at that point of completion. Allow that single hip rotation at the end here, which produces a very powerful endpoint, but it sort of limits the start of the technique, yeah? Whereas we said before, you could allow this hip to go, and then suddenly, like, this point has some mass behind it, a little bit more mass, so there's mass all the way through, yeah? So you have sort of utility at every point. So tricky, a little bit harder, yeah? Like, you can sort of have this hip coming round all the way through the movement, but I think certainly more applicable, like if Jason was punching me, like if Jason was punching me, much more applicable to sort of be here, and then I come in with this strike that way, yeah, so there's a bit more utility there. Get and right, like similar, yeah, you could stay single rotation or in, and then throughout. So play with both, you can do whichever one you want, I don't mind, as long as you're able to do both. And you can like inch. And get out right. Take it. Okay. Just prepare, yeah? Got it. So add you can inch. Add you can knee. So to can start. So to can shoot. Get out right go. Get out right go. Yeah. So making sure like each time you're getting that full rotation, yeah. So from this point, like prepare like you can, as long as I guess sort of like that like marking feeling, like sort of like that counter rotation, I guess, but sort of this mark, and then that single rotation all the way through. Yeah, making sure as we talk about Mondays, you go from sort of the Shomen position, you're loading that back leg in the Hanmi chair inch. And then just like we were practicing the Aksuki, yeah, you're going to use like that heel floor connection, hamstring, glute, upper body, this rotation all the way through. Yeah? And you're going to rotate now as much as you can. This is similar to like Gyaku Chuki and Kanidan, yeah, getting into that Gyaku Hanmi position as much as you can with the side you need. And then what's really important now, as you prepare, you don't let this hip loose. Yeah, so like you've got all this like pressure, for want of better words, in this joint. What's going to want to happen is as I relax, it's going to want to go. Yeah, that's the way my body is going to want to move naturally. What I don't want to happen is that to happen as I prepare. I want to try and maintain. So just arm nice and relaxed on the prep, and then this hip coming in when I need it. Ha! Relax and cut it. G! As we said earlier, making sure like that rotation is getting that arm to cover that. And then again, similar, what I would want to happen is like my hip to go as I prepare here. Again, I've got all of this pressure in this side, like this is setting me forward, this is trying to lock me in place. So just this upper body compression, maybe a bit of inner thigh to get this full preparation for the release. Go! Go! Okay, in, knee, so stop, so sheave, get on go, get on rug. On none of our preparations do we want this lift. Yeah? Maintain. Yeah? So I can lift my arm like high without allowing my shoulder to go. Yeah, I can keep my lat. I can lift this up. And then, regardless of what my arm is doing, I know like the arm is connected to what my body is. Yeah. Remember, at the end of the day, the arms are the least important bits. We're just using them to train. Yeah, like this rotation. Yeah. So from the ground up, making sure like you have that inner thigh muscle connection, as we often talk about, like this triangular point of interest. Yeah, so sort of not sort of like allowing my right side to just be connected to my right, my left side to be connected to my left. I want that central feeling here, using my inner thigh muscles, my glutes, my outer hips to control my stance to make that happen. Yeah, though, like I really wasn't thinking about rotating around this like that front hip, so I'm keeping my weight forward. Obviously, when I pull back, there's going to be a little bit of a centering that as well, yeah. So making sure like it's this full body movement every single time, keeping the upper body relaxed, and then making this hip movement at the correct time, and then trying to get that full rotation. Then using this to make the next one. Yeah? So every single time a full body movement, yeah. So every time I count to double leg, you ready? Thanks. It's really important, yeah, guys. So, like, and I was guilty of this myself for a long time. Yeah, as we've said before, it is really easy for me to like rotate my hip, load that leg, and then just like wiggle my hip. Yeah, it's really easy to do that without driving off that back leg. Yeah, but like I'm not just rotating back. Yeah? It's like my front foot. My front foot is pushing me back. Yeah, my front leg is pushing me back. Then my back leg is pushing me forward. Yeah, as we often talk about, like the hip's just a bone. Yeah, so we can't move our hip. We have to move the muscles around it. Yeah, so that's our glute. That's our inner thighs. Like so, I have to push back. Yeah, then I have to push forward. Yeah, so every single time I rotate it, though we often use the word rotate, we mean push and pull. Yeah, push, 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 pull, pull. Yeah. So making sure every single time, like our legs are being worked in that stance. Yeah. Jacob's going to punch Jonah Samsuki. So, like, when you're in your Kumite, yeah, you neither Hanmi nor Shomen. Like, some people may fight like this, like, whatever. But generally, you're going to be more Shizen, yeah, so natural. So, as that front hand punch comes, I'm just going to have this sort of, like, rock back feeling. I'm, like, really, like, doing this artificially. I'm making it quite robotic. Yeah, yours probably won't be. But I want that feeling going from Shizen to like Hanmi, yeah, very similar. I'm loading that back leg, and then I'm going to drive it, yeah. So similar to what we were doing, where we were rotating and then pushing. I am rotating, so like body side on, back leg loaded, and then driving in. Okay. The second one, Jacob is going to punch Jodan Gyatsuki. Yeah, Jodan Gyatsuki, and on the second one, I'm going to come back this way. Yeah. So I'm again artificially reducing what we did. I'm coming back to show. And then where that hip wants to create that, I'm just going to let it make a Jodan Gyatsuki counter. Okay, guys. So like it was Hanmi, it's that Yaku feeling, allowing that to create. So we're making Hanmi, Shomen, Shomen, Hanmi. Yeah? And we'll talk through as we go. Thanks, Jacob. So again, like if you were just doing Kumite, like you wouldn't be worried about these positions really, and you would just be like, you'd just be blocking and then hitting, like you might be moving in, might be moving out, whatever. You wouldn't be making it, as I said, like as robotic as this, yeah. But again, just using this to like work what we're talking about, and then when we go fast later on, it'll be a little more free, and with hopefully some of those ideas in mind. So like internally, we will be doing what we're currently doing, like in a more like macro fashion, I guess, for want of a better word or a better way of putting it. Yeah. So like if you have to, like if they're dead long, like you may need to step, but if you can, just try and do it with this like hip just dropping back, loading, and then that hip taking you in. Yeah. So like very similar to what we did, that rotation is making this block. If this hand is here, I'm not thinking about moving my hand across, my body movement will do it, yeah, not to such an extent I'm going past, but just so that leg is loaded. And then, as we said, it's that leg which is going to make the punch, yeah. I'm certainly not going to like release and then hit, yeah, guys. So make sure you're working on those two things here on the block and counter. To Joe down again, yeah. And again, I'm going to try avoid stepping, yeah. So all I'm going to do is block, yeah. My hands are up. That rotation is just enough to bring that across. As we said with the Sotuki, like that arm is coming to the left side of my body. Never pass, never short, just what it needs. And then this hip, like we've got that idea of like torque, I guess. That back leg is loaded, which I can then use to throw the kazam. Yep. So, as we said, like if you can, that again, if you are shorter, if they are much taller, when that Kazamatsu comes, you may need this touch of step here. But again, what I wouldn't want you to do is like step, and then that hip goes. Yeah, you sort of want that hip to dictate where that foot goes. Yeah, so it is the movement of the hip which dictates where my foot goes. Yeah, then I know this is loaded. I know this is connected. I know I can then use that to be coming back in. Yeah. So again, make sure you are working on that. As we start to speed up, like this is going to become less, yeah, because obviously the punch is coming fast at your face, yeah. So even when I'm not expecting it, like, so you are going to respond that little bit quicker. So this movement will probably be lesser, yeah. But what we're trying to train, as I said earlier, is that sort of like those internal muscles. So even without the big movement, we're still using them in a similar way. Yeah? Thank you, Jake.